Namaskar, good evening. Welcome all our audience and viewers in this show, Face to Face Soumyajit. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m., we are with one change maker. And today, with us, Dr. Sonal Rochani. And I will definitely introduce her. But before that, we will show you a short audiovisual on heart NGO. Welcome, Sonal, here in this face-to-face Soumyajit show. And I really sincerely tender my apology for starting this show for the first time in these last 4 months. 5 minutes late. Kindly excuse us. This is due to technological glitches. So let me introduce Dr. Sonal Rochani. How should I introduce her? It's very difficult. She is basically PhD in English, having a background of mass media. She was a crime reporter and then founded this Shakti Foundation in 2012, 11. So, social entrepreneur, empowering tribal women, and a lot to tell. All these things will come into our conversation. We'll be having chat with Dr. Sonal Rochani. Welcome, Dr. Sonal Rochani, in this show.
Thank you so much, sir. I am very excited to have a word with you and discuss all the work that we have done till now.
Yes. And I gave very short introduction, but you know yourself better than me. And that is why in a very, very exciting way, I want Sonal to introduce this Shakti Foundation and why she became this social entrepreneur, leaving exciting crime reporting job. And that's my first question to you, Sonal.
Well, sir, we started Shakti Foundation in August 2011. And prior to that, I was in mass media for around. Sir, the connection got lost. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Please continue. Please continue.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, please continue. Your phone is coming on the same phone. That is why
हेलो
the disturbance.
हेलो स्नेहा स्नेहा થોડી વારમાં કોલ કરું પ્લીઝ એક ઝૂમ મીટિંગ ચાલુ છે યા પ્લીઝ પ્લીઝ યસ યસ હા હા
Yes, please tell. Please tell.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, please.
My Because I'm not able to hear you. Can you please give me a signal?
I'm able to listen you, Sonal. Your voice is perfectly coming, is all right to me. I request you to please start.
No, I'm not able to hear, sir. There is some technical issue. I believe I'm not able to hear you.
Then I will consult. I'll just give me some time. Let me check your audio. Our technical team is just checking your audio. Our guest was Dr. Sonal Rochani. Because of some technical hitches, the program is interrupted, and we are trying to set up our connection once again. So please be with us. And I'm just requesting our technical team to check the audio of our guest. It was all right.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it all right? Are you
Yes, sir.
getting
Now I'm
it?
getting you.
But I think
Yes, sir.
you are
Yes,
using
sir.
the same
Now I'm
phone for receiving calls. That is why your connection is getting
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I received a couple of. I did cut them, but see, this is such a time of crisis that people
yeah.
are keep calling for the oxygen
No,
and
no, no.
medicine and
Yeah,
batteries.
yeah. We just tackle this situation. We keep the phone in aeroplane mode so that people are not able to call us. So right now it cannot
No,
be
sir.
done.
I'm getting WhatsApp calls. I'm getting WhatsApp calls
WhatsApp call.
actually.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So we will come to, so we have to shorten the conversation so that you can leave early in the show. So my first question was, why you formed Shakti Foundation? What triggered you to start this NGO, Shakti Foundation?
As you already, sir, mentioned in my introduction that before starting Shakti Foundation in August 2011, I was in mass media for around 8 years. I have worked as a crime reporter. I was with radio as a executive producer. I was with TV media also. So overall, my career as a person of mass media for around 8 years. And while I was in working Samna as a crime reporter, my duty was to go to civil hospital. We have a big civil hospital here in Surat. So my duty was to go there every day. I had to jot down the criminal cases. They came for examination at this civil hospital. So one fine day, I was with my other colleagues. I was standing in the premises of the civil hospital, and one Muslim lady, she was completely drenched in kerosene. She was in burqa, and she came. She rushed to me and she tried to hug me. At first, I was aghast. I was taken back completely, and then when we saw her, we got her admitted in hospital. And at that time, I came to know that she was around 7 months pregnant and she was carrying a baby girl. So it was quite shocking that what exactly happened to that woman. So the way you asked me about the trigger, sir, this I'm telling you about the trigger that happened in 2004. So while talking to that lady, I came to know that she was carrying a baby girl. She did a sonography, and somehow her husband and in-laws, they came to know. So they tried to kill her. Somehow she managed to escape and saved her life and her baby. So this was a kind of a trigger to me, and I thought that if this is the situation of women in the city like a Surat, what could be the possible situation of the tribal women, where they are not aware about their rights, they have less education, there are no such amenities to them. So what exactly would be happening to such women? So that at that time only the seed of Shakti Foundation was there in the year 2004. Somehow I was searching the opportunity to do something for the underprivileged women. And this opportunity I got in 2011, and we finally started Shakti Foundation because there was always inside me an urge to do something for underprivileged women, the tribal women. But somehow, because I was not getting the opportunity, I was not able to do something. But finally, when I got the opportunity, I made a team of like-minded people, professionals who are also interested to do something for the society, something for the underprivileged, and especially the tribal people. So this is how Shakti came into existence.
Right. And just now you mentioned that you worked with the tribal woman. That was your focus in your initial days of journey. And as far as I know, tribal areas comprise of Surat, Tapi, Navsari, Mandavi, then Devgarh, Avadang, then Dharampur. My pronunciation may be a little bit difficult, and Narmada. You may
Yes.
mention
Yes.
other areas also. So it's a
Yes.
vast area. Is that I think several hundred square kilometers area. So my another question to you, I will come to other questions and I will request you to give short answers so that we can go inside the whole story. So how do
Yes.
you manage these areas with this much square kilometer area? How do you manage?
Well, sir, initially when I was not having my own vehicles, I used to transport, having, the public transport I used to have. And for a couple of years, initial couple of years, I traveled a lot. I mean, through bus, through train, through private vehicles. And I did a survey of all these areas. If you ask me, how did I choose these areas to work? So I chose these areas for around, after the research of 2 years. Now I'm having volunteers in all these villages and the districts where I'm working. We have made a team with the sarpanch and the Anganwadi worker females who are situated in these tribal villages, and they are right now our volunteers with whom we have made up the team, and we are working for the various issues like health, hygiene, education, skill development, and livelihood. Of course, this is I'm not doing all alone. We have a team of volunteers and we are managing it.
Okay. Definitely, it's a fantastic, I think, idea and implementation. And if I ask you that, see, you are doing this noble work for sustainability, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, do you have any flagship project for these tribals? I mean, how they will earn something for maintaining their livelihood? Do you have any flagship projects to empower them?
Actually, sir, yeah, see, let me tell you, sir, we have various government schemes for the
Okay.
betterment and empowerment of these tribals. The only thing is that they are not aware about these schemes. If they are properly educated, let me tell you some small examples, sir. We have self-help group of women, SHGs we tell. Now, these self-help groups, how they are made, sir, since they don't have any financial literacy, so they don't know how to be socio-economically empowered. So we have motivated around 25,000 women, more than 25,000 women in these tribal areas. We motivated them to form their groups from 5 to 25 women to open their bank account. After opening the
Achha.
bank account, they have to do bookkeeping, right? Every month they have to do regular meetings. They have to do some savings. Say for example, 100 rupees, then 100 rupees, there is no issue, but they have to do regular savings. And when they do regular savings, after a year the banks do their grading, and after these gradings from 5,000 to 5 lakh rupees is the revolving fund which they receive from those nationalized banks, and out of that fund they can do any activity. Let me tell you the activities which are women doing. They make incense sticks, they make khakra, papad, and more food items. And we also try to help them in selling these items. We are also manufacturing sanitary pads. We have
Achha.
4 units, total 4 units, and we make biodegradable sanitary pads. So
Where are the
there
plants?
are various
Where you
SMEs.
produce? Where you produce?
In South Gujarat only, sir. We have it in see, I'll tell you, sir, we have 14 tribal districts in Gujarat. So I have a
Okay.
vision to have at least one such manufacturing unit of sanitary pads in every tribal district. So till now we have achieved this target of having 4 units in different districts, and we still have 10 more to achieve. So this is one example I gave you, that there are so many small and medium enterprises which our women are running, and they are making good money and they have been empowered.
Right, right. So I think this thing should be lauded by everybody. The government, Gujarat government, is supporting all your endeavors.
Yes, sir. See, there is a myth, sir, in the society that government gives fund to NGOs. No, government never gives any fund to NGOs. Yes, government gives fund to beneficiaries directly in their accounts. So the thing is, we have to motivate, we have to educate, these tribal people, these beneficiaries, that government is giving you this fund, so why don't you utilize it properly? So this is how we educate them and we motivate them, and rest is when they are trained, they are there on their own. Say for example, I told you that we have trained more than 25,000 tribal women. So once they are trained, in certain enterprises, and they then when they are on their own and they can manage their enterprises, so then they do wonders. So yes, the government of Gujarat is supporting us, like they are giving their machinery, their staff is wonderful. As I said, I work with the sarpanch in various villages. I work with the Anganwadi and Asha worker women. So these people, they are quite acquainted. They know the actual situation in their particular villages. So they can help us a lot. They support us a lot to all our endeavors.
What I find that you are a silent worker, and during our show, dry run, also you are receiving calls. That means you are a very good crisis manager also, because right from the beginning I introduced you. You are previously crime reporter. A crime reporter has instinct of going into depth. So that is why you told that the first 2 years you made your research. Now I will tell one favorite thing you always keep in your mind, that action speaks louder than words. Am I right, Sonal?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And this applies to everyone.
Yeah, it applies to everyone, but it motivates you and you get the real charge from this thing. And your actions are louder than words. That is why I told you silently walk. So what are the actions you did in the recent past? I mean, last 1 year during COVID times, that your actions are louder than words. Please tell us something so that our audience and our other people get motivation from your such kind of sharing experience.
Sir, I would like to, elaborate a bit, and I would like to put my point in, two ways. First,
Right.
what exactly we are doing, and other is COVID part. This development came recently. So let me tell you, sir, about the first phase, that, how and what we have been doing in South
Right.
Gujarat. So,
Right.
sir, as I said that I
So
work in Surat,
I have one question. I have one question.
yeah.
Can you enlighten us? What is the tribal population of Gujarat?
Well, sir, see, the tribal population in Gujarat is in numbers, you are saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
Any?
is, here there are most primitive tribes and there are tribals. There are two parts in these tribals also. So we work for the most primitive tribes. These are Hadpati and Kotwadia. Yeah, these are the most
Or,
primitive tribes, and yes, they are, again, like, if you ask me a number, like, I can tell you that they are in lakhs, but can't give a particular number to
not required. I
tell you.
understood.
Yeah.
You are working with the primitive tribes.
Yeah, Hadpati and Kotwara, these are the most primitive tribes of South Gujarat.
Right.
And there are other
Please
tribals also, but let me tell you, sir, there is a small difference. Like, there are some landlords also in tribals, but these two particular tribes, they are landless farmers.
Okay.
They only do kind of labor work,
Hmm.
because they have been like living like a bonded labor, and with their coming generations also, like, there is less hope, since there is alcoholism. In these two particular communities, there is very less education, less awareness about their rights. So there are many menaces in these communities, and I would say that it will take at least one generation to understand these menaces and to come out of this. So yes, let me brief you about the work that we do. See, we work for the health, hygiene, education, skill development, and livelihood initiatives in 109 villages of these South Gujarat region, and we have also adopted 50 ashram schools. Now, sir, these ashram schools, they are the schools for the tribal kids. They stay there and they study there, and since I told you that these kids are, either they are kids of single parents, and if both parents are there, they live a life of a nomad in the search of a livelihood. So they drop their kids in these schools, and they just in the hope of to have a two-time meal for their kids. That is why they drop their kids in these tribal areas in ashram schools. So yes, these schools are also government granted, but the grant is very less, and it is very difficult for these kids to cope up for their daily requirements from these this small grant. So the thing is that we have to support their education material, their coaching material, their stationery, their music equipments, their equipments, and sometimes yes, their nutritional food also. So we have been helping these ashram schools since last 8 years, and with the women, I told you that we are making these women empowered by giving them financial literacy and teaching them various small medium enterprises so that they can be economically empowered. So this part
Right.
is, as I said, that in last 10 years we have been doing it. And now coming to the COVID part, sir. Now yes, last year was very difficult for every one of us, but yes, for tribals it was very difficult because last year we had a a lockdown of around say 2 months. It was a longer phase. So yes, the livelihood was a major issue for our communities because they live a life of a nomad, and in the search of livelihood, they for around 2 months they are in Surat, for around 2 months they are in Tapi, they are in Songad, so they have to roam. And when in the during the lockdown, they have to be at their places, maybe their village, or maybe they were stuck somewhere. So for our challenge, for us, the first challenge was to arrange their livelihood. So with the support of Zomato, we arranged ration kit for these tribals. So we gave around 10,000 kits, grocery kits to these nomadic tribes, the tribals in different villages. Of course, we identified them who are the most needy. So we gave them ration kits, and we helped the tribal women by making a cotton mask. At that time, the mask was compulsory. Of course, it is compulsory as of now also. So we helped such women in stitching these double layered cotton masks. They made around 1 lakh masks. And we sold these masks, and we could generate amount of around 12 to 15 lakh rupees for these women. And at that time it was a very big amount because the
Right.
time was very tough due to lockdown. So yes, these were the activities that we did last year during the lockdown.
Right. So definitely, it's a fantastic endeavor taken by your organization, and you are working for the last 10 years, and you researched for 2 years. Simultaneously, you started working on the tribal women, these primitive tribes, and others. And what are the major challenges you faced during these last 10 years to take your vision, your mission, organizations, and your passion? How did you take it forward? What are the challenges you faced?
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Please carry on.
Yeah. So yes, let me talk about the challenges, sir. The first challenge for me when I started this organization and started going in these tribal people. So first challenge was to me actually to interact with these communities, because see, there was a big gap among us. Since they were tribals, someone coming from a city and approaching them, trying to understand their problems, so in that period, for me, when I started approaching, there was a language barrier, there was a culture barrier, and of course, the lack of trust. Because when somebody is new to you, you cannot open up, you cannot freely discuss your issues, your problems with them. So
Right.
these people were quite reluctant. These people were quite reluctant. They were hesitating. They were not opening up to me. So yes, this was the first issue that I faced. Then there were some people, like some political people, when they dislike that some social worker is coming in their area and motivating people to to ask for their rights. So there were some people who kind of trying to harass me in various way. And of course, the people for whom I worked, gradually they developed the trust in me, when I was continuously going in them. So after a couple of years, when they knew that this lady is continuously coming in our area and continuously asking about our welfare, uh, they they developed trust in me. So with time the things got easier for me.
Okay. That was the initial challenges, and right now when you want to scale up your activities, you want to reach the people, you want to make their livelihood more decent. So do you find any challenges from anywhere, from government, from other stakeholders?
uh, Yes, I can say so. See, now when I want to scale up, when I want to work with now, more tribal people in our, other parts, other regions of Gujarat, other than South Gujarat, I believe that, see, government is doing their part. But from my end, yes, I want to make a better and bigger team of, passionate people like me. So yes, it's a challenge to find people who are like-minded. And I can say that it's a big challenge during this since this COVID time has come. It is a bit challenging for us to get funds from corporates, because we largely work with the help of CSR. So yes, challenges there, from last 2 years we have been facing that, no new projects, no educational fund is being released, no livelihood funds, no other trainings that we want to execute. So all our future projects that we want to do, they are stuck somewhere thanks to COVID. So yes, these are the challenges, but hopefully we'll overcome.
Right, right. And now I come back a little bit to a little bit of mathematics, because you are working with the tribal, and during these 10 years you read their minds very well. And suppose one parameter is health. Suppose when you started, their parameter of health, consciousness, hygiene maintenance, everything was, suppose it was hypothetically zero. And how much marks you will give after your 10 years efforts in the health parameter?
Health parameters, sir, I would give out of 10, I would give 5.
Five. So a lot of things to
Yes.
still you have to
A
do.
lot
Now
to
I
be done, sir. A lot to be done. Yeah.
Right. So I will come to another parameter, that is education. When you started, I don't know what was the highest education among the primitive tribes. And right now, what is the highest qualification they have acquired during these 10 years? How they are education oriented?
The way I said earlier, sir, that when we talk about education and the opportunity to for higher education, for better professional courses, the number is still very low. Say for example, I can tell you that in which ashram schools that I work, there are students who have been who have become teachers, who have gone into police force. But I want to see more such tribal kids to come forward to become doctors, engineers, professors in college, maybe turning entrepreneurs. But still the number is very low. I mean, this I'm saying from my last decade's experience. But
Right.
still, because of, sir, as I said, the cultural barrier, they haven't seen such a millionaire or say billionaire coming from their tribal community. They have not might be watching people growing by all means. So that's the when they don't feel like motivated. If, sir, I see my sibling or my neighborhood or in my friends, if I see someone growing and approaching achieving that level, that is a motivation to me. But if I don't see any of such people around me, that might not be helpful, that environment is not helpful to me. So I believe, yes, there is a lot to be done. As I said, the alcoholism is there, and many menaces are there in these communities. So it will take at least one more generation to understand the importance of education, awareness, and you know growing. By all means, the growth should be there in their communities. This they have to understand, and it will take a lot of time.
Right, right. At least you are satisfied, and I think as a citizen of India, we must feel satisfied that you could ignite the light in their minds.
Yes, sir, I can say that, I can see that spark now
Yes, that is important.
in these kids, the tribal kids for
Yes,
which I work. I can see the spark. So definitely it will grow.
right, right, right. That is very important. And during these 10 years, I think when you work as crime reporter or general reporter, when you wrote stories, you got byline. When you did your PhD, you could write doctor. So during this Shakti Foundation journey, did you receive any recognitions from a government or other recognized bodies for your
So
work?
there are many. There are
Just
many
give us
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. So recently on 12th of January only, I was given a Gujarat Rajya Yuva Award. This award is given to the youth who do kind of out of box and tremendous work in their particular fields. So total 8 youth were given this award by the Gujarat government. So our CM Mr. Vijay Rupani, they felicitated us. So that's the highest recognition I can say, that my
Congratulations,
state that has given
congratulations.
me. Thank you. And for my work, I have been featured in the official advertisement of Gujarat government's tribal development department. So that's again, matter of very proud to me. Though see, I'm an NGO worker, a social activist, but my photo with the tribal girls, it is featured in the official advertisement of Gujarat government. That is also a matter of pride to me, that it's a kind of recognition. They have recognized my efforts, that someone is there for these tribal people. So in just a small span, I would say that there are people, sir, who have given their lives for the betterment of these people. But I can say that I'm lucky, said I got this recognition. So yes, this recognition by getting featured in the advertisement of Gujarat government is there. Then there are some international awards. I got one award in New York a couple of years back. Yes, I couldn't go there. So and my fellow awardees were Indra Nui. So that's also a proud moment for me. So yes, there are so many which I don't remember, but yes, these are,
That's
I
all
can say,
right.
the recognition.
Why
In
I
a
asked
period
this?
of time, I just showed.
No, no, I did not want to embarrass you. Why I asked you this question, that you are working tirelessly, whether there was any recognition to encourage you. That is why I asked you whether any recognitions were there. And you already told various recognitions were there. So your work is being recognized, being watched by people. And definitely this featuring in advertisement gives a very strong message to different stakeholders. You are telling initially people trying to harass you, so those things will ultimately stop and you will sail your boat very smoothly.
Absolutely, sir. See, I'm not a tribal, first of all. When
Right,
I'm saying that I'm working for the tribal communities, though I'm not a tribal, so it was a challenge initially for me, uh,
right,
that I'm not coming from the community. Second,
right,
people of those that particular community who believe that since they didn't know my intentions initially, that why am I going to in these villages, and what am I doing, what exactly I want to do, and what are my intentions. So at that time, the hardships, they were like, they likely to come. I would say that they were likely to come. But when, and now when I'm getting featured with the tribals for the work that I'm doing, so it itself speaks for me that since my intentions were pure, I got this recognition.
right, right. And when I was doing a little bit of research on you, I found that you are also holding, you told that I forgot. So I don't want to embarrass. There were a lot of records like Guinness Book of World Record. Then I think some other records are also in your possession for doing this record, India Book Records. And I think you were the first NGO who did this tallest pyramid cake why you did this pyramid cake and what is your objective and how did you achieve the objective?
Well, sir, on 17th September 2016, we achieved this tallest pyramid cake record in Guinness Book of World Record. Well, this was the actually birthday of our Honorable PM. And when he was a CM of Gujarat, he did wonderful work for our state. So on his birthday, we wanted to dedicate something to him. So we got this idea of making, cake on his birthday, but we also wanted to give a strong message. So I thought of making this cake, and I wanted this cake to be cut by the tribal girls for whom I work. So we made with the help of Atul Bakery. It is one of the biggest bakeries in Gujarat. They have around 150 franchisees. So with their support, we made this cake, and it was from around say 3,750 kgs cake, and it was 8 feet tall. So this record was achieved, and we distributed more than 40,000 cake boxes with the message of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Right. So, and these cake boxes were distributed in the tribal villages of South Gujarat with the message of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So this is how this first record was achieved in September 2016.
Fantastic. After 10 years, do you repent that you left this exciting job of crime reporting where you used to get tremendous focus on you? Right now also you are getting, but in a different direction. So do you repent that I should not have left my crime reporting job? Or I wish to take once again that
Not
job?
at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
I would like to explain this thing in a this was my inner urge. Maybe I am a believer of karma. I am a believer of uh, in the this birth theory. So maybe in my last birth, there was something that that was left to be done for these tribals. And we have a word in Gujarati, and its meaning is runanuband. Runanuband, I believe this word is there in Hindi also. I don't know the
One
exact
second,
Hindi
one
word.
second. Let me once
Yeah.
again take it. Tell me.
Yeah, the word is runanuband.
Runanuband. Okay.
Runanuband. So this is a Gujarati word, and I believe there is a Hindi word also. So Runanuband is something that when I am as a Sonal Rochani is talking to you, we became friends, and then we became close friends when we do something for each other. So that is our Runanuband, that you sitting in Kolkata, I sitting in Surat, we never knew each other, and still we came in touch and we did something for each other. So this is a Runanuband. So I can say, sir, that in my last birth, I was somehow connected to these tribals, and I was destined to work. I was destined to use my education, my writing skills and everything for the betterment of these people, because there has to be someone to be the voice of these voiceless people. So I believe I was always destined to do this. The destiny was just taking the turn, and it was waiting for the right time. So yes, the inner urge that started in 2004, it finally got shape in 2011. So yes, this is how things worked. So I never repent starting this organized. Yes, see, the difficulties were always there. The difficulties are still there. Maybe there will be bigger challenges in future, but yes, I never repent. I rather I'm enjoying these challenges.
Right. Rather, now I will put in other words that that experience, that expertise, that insight gave you more confidence of taking up the challenges in this particular tribal oriented one.
Yes, sir, certainly you can say my experience has shaped me that way.
Yes. That made you, earlier experience made you more courageous. So nothing could stop you in this endeavor or journey. So I will remind you once again, not once again, for the first time, one thing, that October 2, 2020 was a memorable day for you.
Pardon, sir?
October 2, 2020, did anything?
Yeah.
Largest
Yes,
hand
yes,
washing
absolutely.
campaign. So let
Yes.
our audience know, obviously it was not 100 people, 1,000 people or 10,000 people. Let it come from your mouth how exciting was and what was the total response you received, what message you gave to the masses.
Well, sir, it was a challenging time last year, as we all know. Since this corona came, masks and sanitizing our hands and the social distancings, and we all were following all these COVID guidelines. So, but still, I one day, this thought came in my mind. And we are celebrating on 2nd October. We all are celebrating Gandhi Jayanti. Gandhiji always, admired the cleanliness. So I wanted to celebrate this day in a very different way. So I approached our cabinet minister, Shri Ganpat Basavaji, and we said that, sir, why, if we can, celebrate this day in a way that we could give the message of cleanliness, the message of health and hygiene to lakhs of people in the world, in our country, or maybe in our state. So he said, how and what you want to do. So I gave this idea that, we have around 53,028 Anganwadis in Gujarat. So I said, sir, with following the COVID guidelines, if we can have at least 10 women in one Anganwadi, so let us have all these, women participate in this endeavor. So, and we will be, they will be washing their hands simultaneously, 20 seconds of hand wash as per the guidelines of WHO. So let them wash their hands, let them realize the impact and importance of washing their hands and being healthy in this corona period. So, and he said, what else we could do? So I said, sir, we will give soaps, hand washes, and mask, and a packet of sanitary pads to all these women. And we will also give one participation certificate to all the participant women, that this is kind of a motivation to them when they will be showing these participation certificate to to other women in their neighborhood, that see, we participated in this program and we washed our hands for 20 seconds and we received this recognition from state government. So he said, wonderful, let us do it. So on 2nd October in Gujarat, we had 5,30,280 women. They simultaneously washed their hands for 20 seconds as per the guidelines of WHO, and they created a world record. Number one. The second record that was achieved by the Gujarat government, the Women and Child Development Ministry, WCD, they achieved the second record of distributing the highest number of kits, hygiene kits to these women with a soap, sanitary pad, mask, and participation certificate. So we achieved two Asia Book of Records and India Book of Records on this day, and of course it's a memorable because this whole organized this program was organized by Shakti Foundation. We got the support of government. We got the volunteers. We got the Anganwadi worker women, and of course the whole government machinery. They very enthusiastically they participated. All the ministers, the CM, because my team was with CM at that time. I know we were on a bigger screen. We were watching in each and every village, because as I said, there are 53,000 Anganwadi. So we were watching women how enthusiastic they were for this whole event, and it was a grand event, let me say. And we were happy, not just because we could achieve these records, world records, but yes, the message that we wanted to give, that message we gave in a superb way, I would say. So yes, that was a memorable day for all of us.
Yes. So I think you will give me a little bit of credit that within a very short time I could get something about you, so that our conversation is going on in a very exciting way. And let me come to another question, obviously, that will come at the end of the show. That what is the your future roadmap for this Shakti Foundation? Already you told that I have footprint in this district. I want to spray it, I want to scale it, but in a very focused manner, if I ask you what will be your roadmap for future?
So my first vision is to cater all the 14 districts of Gujarat. These are all tribal districts. This is my first step. The second thing that I want to do is there is a lot of work to be done for these tribal ashram schools where these kids are studying. With less
Hmm.
amenities, it's very challenging for them to survive and sustain. So my second step is to make better, schools, tribal schools with better amenities, say toilet blocks and educational buildings and of course better roads and other amenities so that these kids they can happily stay there and study. The third thing for these kids, of course, for their education, I would like to do. Yes, we are interestingly working on a one educational project because this COVID has hit us like very badly. So now the online education that is now going to be kind of compulsory for everyone because we don't know till what time COVID is going to be there in future. So now we are working on this online education mode for these tribal kids, and it's again a very big challenge because if I say there are 100 kids, only 40 kids are having mobile phones. So this 40% kids are having such facilities. So how and what could be done for the rest of the 60% kids? So that's again a challenge for us. If mobile phone is there, there is no mobile network tower for them. So yes, we are working on these things. So yes, the education of these kids, the online education, which is maybe going to get compulsory for these kids. So it's a biggest challenge for us, and of course, I'm going to be working profoundly on these educational projects only in future.
Right, right. So definitely, we are extremely pleased and happy the way you described journey of Shakti Foundation. I once again give thank you and from the core of my heart that you gave your time today's evening, and we wish that all the things you thought to be done in future and what you told very spiritually you described why you started this journey that touched my heart really. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, so you left your typical journalistic job, you took up difficult job of reaching the tribals and more precisely the primitive tribals. And today we are enlightened with so many things, your ideas, your working style, how you are facing the challenges, how you are overcoming the challenges, how you are getting encouraged, how the government is standing beside you, everything. And we could touch your inner soul to get all these things. And thank you very much, Dr. Sonal Rochani, for coming over to this show on this 24th episode. Thank you once again. And I wish our audience have gathered so many information about not only Shakti Foundation, Dr. Sonal Rochani. And I sincerely believe that one day Dr. Sonal Rochani's this work will be role model for all the states in India. I sincerely believe.
Thank you so much for the wonderful words, sir. I'm humbled. I'm happy that we are having this conversation. And yes, whatever small things that we could do in last 10 years, it should have bigger impact. I don't know how much it can be motivating to others because I don't find myself a role model to anyone. But yes, I'm happy, and happiness is the key for anyone to do anything. I personally feel so. So yes, I'm very happy in whatever endeavors we have been taking for these tribal people. Thank you so much for describing my journey in a wonderful way. And yes, now we have our well wishers in Bengal, in Kolkata. And yes, I would like to invite you to Gujarat. Let this pandemic go and please visit. Gujarat, there is so much for you to see, to explore, and just be our guest. And of course, we Surat, we are called foodies. Surat is the heaven of
So
foodies.
definitely,
So please
I
come.
reciprocate. I welcome you in Kolkata. Kolkata's Rasagolla and Misti Doi. I think these two names you are quite familiar. And I do not know if you are a vegetarian. I will not invite you with the Hilsha fish. Huh?
I would like to relish everything, whatever you said.
Okay. And with that, good night to Dr. Sonal Rochani. Good night
Thank
to
you so much,
our
sir.
audience. And please tune on every Wednesday, 7 p.m. We are with a new change maker. And so good night once again. Namaskar.
Thank you.